Brodes Media.
I am doing the overnight shift all week long on WIP because John Johnson's on vacation. So Monday through Friday, I am on the air 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. I have to get my body clock right for those type of hours. So because I wanted to continue to give you content and shows and podcasts, I ended up just recording earlier, scheduling it out, and having it ready to publish while I was taking a version of a nap, if you will, at a very strange time. Well, yeah, that show that was ready, you could throw that right into the damn recycle bin. Wasted my time. It's useless now. It's useless after Brandon Graham on the Brandon Graham Show shares his view and his perspective on A.J. Brown, on Jalen Hurts, on the passing game being all out of whack. Here's the timeline. After the game, A.J. was asked what needs to improve with the offense. He responds with one word and one word only: passing. Now, I didn't really have a problem with it at the time. I still really don't have that much of an issue with it now because he's not wrong. They're 31st in the league, sandwiched in between Drake May and the New England Patriots and Caleb Williams with the Chicago Bears. The Tennessee Titans are down there. These are the type of squads that you are around statistically while trying to throw the football around the field. It's unacceptable, right? And when I heard AJ talk, it didn't hit me like he wants every target in the world. How it hit me was this. I understand that we are a run-first team. I know that Saquon is going to get a bulk of the carries, and we are going to lean on our offensive line, and that's what puts us in a great position to compete for a Super Bowl. When we do, though, have those limited opportunities to pass the football, I'm open, and the ball has to hit me more. So it's not about we now need to turn Jalen from a 20, 21, 22 throws a game guy to 40. No. If he's throwing the ball 22, 23, 24, hit me, I'm fucking open. And the tape shows that pretty aggressively. If they kept the distribution the same way it is now pass run, and Jalen's just letting the ball rip and head number 11's way, where he gets a chance to do damage, keeping the same number of passes and runs as it has been, I don't believe A.J. Brown is upset or disappointed. 31st in the league means something's broken. You are allowed to speak up if something's broken that badly. So that was my view on it from a very broad sense. I don't believe that AJ was doing anything brutally disgusting with his leadership the way that I've seen him fail in years past by forcing teammates to have to answer questions from the media because he didn't feel like showing up, and knowing the questions were for him and about him and he would have more insight than any of his teammates would, he still made Devontae and others have to face the music instead of him. I didn't like that. And then he said, well, I wouldn't have said anything good. Well, you can control that, AJ. So I didn't like that. This, you're 31st in the league out of 32 teams with AJ, Devontae, Saquon in the passing game too, and Goddard when he's healthy. This can't continue if you have the goal of winning a championship. And I thought AJ expressed that fairly. So that was number one after the game. Then, which got a little unnoticed, Jalen Hurts stormed off in his media press conference. Just left. Mid-questions, got up and dipped. Strange, right? He may give you cliche answers. He may give you a little bit of nothing. He may just spew word vomit of cliches. But he'll answer the questions. Got up and left. Now, on Monday evening, we get this bombshell. I'm sure a lot of you have heard it. But if you haven't, here it is for the first time. And if you have, here it is for the 1,000th time, because I know my ears have been glued to this thing. In what world? Here's Brandon Graham on WIP talking about the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts situation.
The person that's complaining need to be accountable. And I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he know this. I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying. And I mean, 11 could be a little better with how he respond to things. And they was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed. And I understand that because life happens. But it's the business side that we have to make sure that we don't let the personal get in the way of the business. And that's what we got to do better as right now, because we know it's an issue. Everybody's seeing some things, but we need to be able to talk things out as men. You know what I'm saying? But we need to let personal stuff go and let's get right for this game, because, man, it's like a lot of stuff, most of the time it's just a conversation that just need to be had. But the person with the problem got to want to talk to the person other than others. Okay.
All right, so that's really massive, by the way. What was just stated, very, very massive. Brandon Graham had further comments through Tim McManus. He had further comments through, who else? I think John Clark was another one. And he said, I should have talked to them first without assuming what others said. Because what hit me the hardest was they were friends, right? That whole spiel about they were friends. I don't know what happened there. And now BG saying, you know what? I should have talked to them first without assuming what others said. That implies that there are people in the locker room that feel AJ and Jalen once had this strong best friend connection. And through the years, through the couple of seasons, maybe things have taken a turn. I don't know. There's all sorts of video footage of Jalen and AJ celebrating, dapping up, doing the Fresh Prince celebration after big plays are made. Didn't seem to be an issue then. But I'm not going to rule out that something is starting to boil. They're 11-2. They're a damn good football team. They're on a 9-game win streak. Yet here we are. And I guess when I really let it digest, this is where I'm at the night of. Maybe I'll have a different perspective throughout the week. Maybe I'll get more information somehow. Maybe we'll hear more things. I do believe the further statement is a lot of damage control, because I'm sure the Eagles PR is not thrilled with AJ, not thrilled with BG, very not thrilled with BG. Here's my big takeaway of it all, though. Something's off. Right? Something's off. In what world? A team that is 11-2 and all rocking in the same direction with a strong brotherhood and strong relationships and a family-like attitude has turmoil like this. Doesn't mean they can't win in spite of it. The perfect example that everybody uses is Shaq and Kobe. Didn't like one another. Got the job done. Saquon is having a year that is on pace to be the best running back in NFL history. That's the type of season he's on. Maybe that combined with Jeff Stoutland is enough to overcome any drama inside the NovaCare complex. I don't know. Maybe Vic Fangio, Zach Bond, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, although The vet said, "You're not close yet, bud." That's what Adam Thielen said to Coop. Quinion had a rougher day in coverage as well. But look, if the defense thrives and your running game thrives, can you still make this thing happen with weird exchanges between AJ and Jalen and a piss-poor passing game? It's not impossible. It just makes it already more difficult than it is to win a title. There's another layer of adversity that you have to hit, which is the Eagles getting in the way of the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's a rough task to overcome, but not impossible. A lot of this also stems from we just went through it. We just went through a bunch of drama. And it was the reason why they failed last year and things got super uncomfortable. To this year's team's credit, though, I've now laid out maybe 2 or 3 different examples of where I thought the season could have been derailed. And in one of those, it was 4 weeks in, head coach being called a clown publicly, and he ended up turning this thing around like no other could. It's a very difficult task. Good for him. Do they have another one up their sleeve? Is the makeup of this team so strong? Is the talent in the room so strong? Is this such a turning point moment that in a weird way it rallies them together to have those uncomfortable conversations where AJ, BG, and Jalen, they all sit down after this exchange happened. They dap each other up, be like, "Yo, boys, come on. Come on. We love one another. We know what the ultimate goal is. We know what we're capable of doing. We know what this locker room is filled with, a bunch of talent. Let's figure this thing out. All right? We got to iron out these kinks. It's not going to be perfect automatically after we sit down and talk. But let's just clear the air and let's make sure we move the right way." It's not impossible.